Game, set, match. We're on the air. Hello, YouTube or YouTube.
We are back with a vengeance, aren't we, Dan?
YouTube. Let's call it that from now on.
YouTube.
Let's call it that from now
We're
on.
going as Suffolk as we want today, aren't we?
Suffolk, where's that? So, welcome aboard. This is, of course, the YouTube channel that you cannot wait to follow. We've got a half-assed effort on the green screens. The presenters and camera work is absolutely awful, and the presentation style is even worse.
Yep, and just feels like Tuesday, doesn't it, Dan? Let's be honest.
Well, it could be worse. Could be Monday.
That's true, yeah. We're closer to the weekend.
Absolutely, and of course...
Producer man Steve's birthday on the Saturday. Big shout out.
It is, absolutely. Big shout out.
Yep, had to be done.
Big day.
Yep.
He's getting old.
I know, yeah.
I got my walking stick.
His beard's going to be growing grey any moment now.
We're just getting a Santa hat.
Yep.
And a coat. So, of course, we are two more reviews for Forgotten February away, and we're going to crack the egg on today's.
Yeah, we just want to carry on talking about films that are quite good, but, you know, people may have forgotten about. And in that sense, Dan, I've gone for a childhood classic today. And it's DreamWorks as well, so I think you should definitely check this film out. It's a lot of fun. This movie is called Small Soldiers from 1998. I was a very stubborn kid and tended to judge films by their covers, which is something I am thankful I grew out of eventually.
Trust me, it's not just the kid that was stubborn.
I knew you'd fit in that dig. I tell you this because back in 1998, when a 3-year-old me got this film on a VHS tape for Christmas, I hid it round my grandparents so I wouldn't have to take it home. My family still kid me for it today, but I am thankful they forced me to take it home as I gave it a watch and enjoyed the hell out of it.
Hang on, why didn't you take it home? You didn't want to watch it?
No, because I looked at the front cover and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to like that. I don't think I'm interested in that. So I hid it up around my grandparents, and then my parents found it. They're like, what is this hidden up for? And we ended up taking it home. I ended up watching it, and I ended up enjoying it.
Hang on, there's more to this. Where did you hide it?
Behind the sofa. Should have hid it somewhere better. No, I'm glad I didn't, because this film was a lot of fun. The film is directed by Gremlins director Joe Dante, actually. So we spoke about Gremlins throughout the Christmas month, didn't we?
We was it Christmas or was it Halloween? We spoke about Gremlins.
It was Christmas, yeah, because Gremlins is technically a Christmas film because it takes place at Christmas. But you can kind of see this as a more kid-friendly version of Gremlins, really. What with small violent things that shouldn't exist causing terror to a neighborhood and such. There's similarities between this and Gremlins quite a lot.
Okay.
Apparently, this film was to be more edgy for teenage audiences, but the film sponsors and tie-ins demanded it be purged or basically dumbed down of all violence for a child-based audience, which is a shame, as I think this film would have been better with a bit more gore and mayhem to it. Funny enough, one of the tie-ins was Burger King.
Ha!
Yeah, of all of them, that caused them to dumb it down for a kid audience.
Why on earth would a film producer listen to Burger King?
I have no idea. If it was McDonald's, different story. Ka-ching, but with Burger King, not so much. The human characters are kind of one-dimensional. Standout goes to annoying, self-centered neighbor Phil, played by comedy legend Phil Hartman, who is sorely missed. Phil Hartman voiced Troy McClure in The Simpsons.
Yes, he did.
That's what you'll know him from.
The irony of that sentence.
I know, yeah. You may remember me from such things as...
Brilliant.
The toys are the real standouts, as I guess they should be in a film of this kind. Am I right? I mean, it's like Toy Story. They're the.
I did like the animation on them, actually, because we've just seen a little preview of it.
It's stop motion, yeah. Cinema legends Tommy Lee Jones and Frank Langella carry the film as the lead toy duo enemies. Jones voices Major Chip Hazard, who is the leader of the Commando Elite, and throws some great bad guy comical lines out there with Jones' gruff delivery. Langella voices Archer, leader of the Gorgonites, who is the gentle, key, good guy who helps the humans stop the Commando Elite. I also like the flip side that the toys were designed with the Commandos being the good guys and Gorgonites being the bad guys, but in actual fact, it's actually the opposite. So it turns out that the Commandos are actually the bad guys and the Gorgonites are actually the good guys.
Okay.
So they kind of flip it, like the toys. Imagine like Buzz Lightyear and Emperor Zurg. You know, imagine if Emperor Zurg was actually the good guy in reality, but Buzz was the bad guy.
I was going to actually use a Toy Story reference of my own. I was going to refer to Lotso Hugging Bear. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
Hugging Bear, lovable.
Yep.
You really want to like him, but
I think all toy-related movies, this and all the Toy Story films included in that, I think they all contain themes that are meant to teach children not to judge people by their appearances all the time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes, you know, like, you know, someone who may like have a deformity or something could be a very kind person, and people who may look normal are not normal, and they could be very harmful.
Well, all it did really was just make you just look at the toy box at the end of your bed at night, like, I ain't sleeping with that in there.
Putting a padlock on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got rid of my toys weeks ago. Anyway, you get a lot of 90s tropes in this film, what with a key product of its time, like Wannabe by the Spice Girls playing at some point in this movie. Dates it quite a
Sold.
bit.
Absolutely sold.
Barbie's appearing. And also Kirsten Dunst, not quite old enough to be hot yet. But she did get there eventually in Spider-Man in 2002. Other supporting human actors who bring a few laughs include Kevin Dunn, David Cross, and Dennis Leary. Plus, Jerry Goldsmith's score once again proves that the elite composer can do no wrong.
Nice.
To close, Dan, Small Soldiers is a real blast of harmless 90s fun. I'm glad Netflix allowed me to revisit a film I haven't watched in a long time, as viewing films like these as grown-ups is almost like watching them again for the first time, isn't it? The animatronics and CGI work on the toys is very commendable, as well as still holding up quite well. So on that note, Dan, I'm going to give Small Soldiers 3 stars out of 5.
I like it.
Yeah,
Could it have got more stars, though?
I think, due to it being a product of its time,
Right.
Spice Girls, Barbie, that kind of thing, you know, it not necessarily a bad thing for someone like me. I mean, I live in the past, you know me. I like my 70s, 80s, and 90s tropes.
I live in the past as well.
To the nth degree. I love that kind of stuff, music and films. But yeah, ultimately, I've got to view it as a film, and then I've got to put my critic hat on first for this film, and ultimately that's what I'm going to garner it with 3 out of 5 stars. Still very commendable and definitely worth a watch. I think you'd have a great time with this movie, Dan. This isn't just a rating. This is a recommendation.
Okay, well there you have it. No, I like that. I like it when they become recommendations. You know, I would say to you though.
This isn't a Lord of the Rings recommendation either. This isn't a film you have to watch. This is a film I want you to watch because I know you'll enjoy it.
Like with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, yeah. Or The Iron Giant.
Iron Giant was good.
Yeah, The Iron Giant takes some beating, I tell you.
I know. But this is the thing as well, right? If I was to ever get in a time machine and go back and visit you as a child and put a mic to you after you've watched these films for the first time, I'd have probably been met with a, "Mommy, who's this creep?" Followed by, "Oh yeah, actually, it was a pretty good film."
Yeah, because I didn't have my critic hat on then, but now because I've got that on as a grown-up.
I just love to run a comparison.
It is, yeah, I agree. But that's why I always include my memories of these films if I did watch them as a kid in my reviews, so I can compare as we're talking about them.
I'd love to just get some footage of that, put that beside you, and just.
I would love
it's
to,
impossible,
like Cats and Dogs, for example. The famous line, "I want you to stay here."
Why?
Because I hate you. Like, I rewound that on repeat on VHS as a kid, as a 5-year-old kid. I just could not get enough of that exchange of lines.
That was such great humour.
Yeah.
Everything about that scene was perfect.
Yep. I'm not going to call it a forgotten gem of a film, but that is a forgotten gem of a line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should be quoted more often.
Definitely.
Should be meme material, that should. It really should.
Just thinking about it make me laugh.
That's what I'm doing when you leave here today.
Yep.
Going into Photoshop, we're making that happen. All right, well, anyway, thank you, Tommy, again, for yet another review.
Just to get us through February, and then we're into March, aren't we?
Oh, yes. Well, we've got one more from Feb.
Yep.
Back, straight into March. And what is the theme for March? Can you remember?
I believe it is Mystical March, am I right?
Well, it is Forgotten February, so I've forgotten. Hang on. No, you're not right.
Magical March.
I'll let you have that. Magic March.
Magic March. Okay. So, yeah, that means we'll be talking about fantasy films, films that contain magic, magicians even. It could contain magicians, wizards, Harry Potter, that kind of thing. We can talk about that kind of stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. But we've got one more.
I love Harry Potter, but you're not going to go near it. Or are you? Oh, okay. We'll leave it there.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll leave it there. Well, Tommy, thank you very much.
Always a joy.
You know your line.
I know my line. Look, you can follow us on Letterboxd down here. Larkins95 right there in the centre if Dan's done his job right. And then over there, Dan is Dan Moore Radio on Letterboxd as well. But I don't think you'll want to follow Dan because he doesn't really go on there that much. Whereas me, on the other hand...
Follow me because less is more.
Or sometimes none at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. A classic Simpsons quote. Yeah, brilliant.
Dear God.
That's a classic line.
Simpsons movie. That's another one we should review down the line. We'll see. Anyway, everybody, take a bow to us as we are on our way out. And then we will be back next week to see ourselves through to the end of February.
Bow to us. Yeah, that good.
I know.
Right. You have a great one. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, and of course, use the little bell so you know when we're on next. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody. All the best.